One of them?
No, it's okay now.
No.
It's part 2.
Part 2.
Now I'm sad.
What? Dude.
Don't worry about it, man.
You want one?
No, I want the fucking bunny, but everything's stacked nicely, so I can't.
Well,
we didn't make any progress on the chair since you last spoke to us.
right.
And, bro, just finish it.
The chalky's good. No, dude.
But come on, man.
No, we start part 2.
Welcome back to the Switch. Unbelievable.
All right.
Unfucking believable.
Where were we?
What was all that about?
Oh, dude.
The hell just happened? What are you wearing?
Where am I?
Is that your girlfriend Skivvy?
Dude.
We had a bit of a syntax error.
I hope you never feel the pain that we fucking just felt before.
We just filmed that whole second episode, or this episode you're watching now, and ran out of storage. So
Yeah, and I was running so late. I had to go to jiu-jitsu, and we thought we were like, you know what, we're just going to leave this for tomorrow. And then what better way to just
we need to capitalize on the opportunity.
capitalize on the opportunity
While
on
it's
this,
fresh in our brains.
on the brain juice. And I look like this.
Should we turn that?
Should we turn that thing off? You signed up for this, by the way. I'm just saying.
You did. They didn't.
They did.
Oh, they did.
They did. You didn't know what you're gonna get.
Anyway, I've got to go to work, so let's pump this shit out.
Yeah, dude. So
Thanks for coming, bro.
thanks for having me. So what were we talking about?
We ran through what belief systems are and why they are important. Today, we're talking about
The
how to actually change your current belief system
Yep.
and replace it with a more productive, more constructive, more elegant, more phonetic, more
Yep.
poetic, more magnificent. Yeah, and I
Keep
said,
going.
and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna keep going on today. That's enough of that.
All right. Anyway, so we're talking about how to change those belief systems. So like how are we gonna do it? First off,
Before we do this, I'm actually just gonna check that's actually videoing, just to make sure.
dude, I cannot believe.
No, we're
that.
good.
We're good.
We're good. Can't cut that out either.
Dude, I'm sweating.
We'll wrap this up.
Back on topic. So
Seriously, on the point. Stop distracting us. I still gave you the good mic, so
thanks, man.
that must be love.
That is true.
That must be love. I think my voice is getting a little bit better.
It does sound a bit better.
Like it's still a bit shitty, but it's pretty good.
Okay, so we're talking about the how. How do we change those belief systems? Jimbo.
So, you know why, you know what, you know who, you know where. We need to talk about, well, you just introduced that. Yeah, so we're talking about the how. How do you actually change the belief system? So, first step, you need to uncover what the belief systems are that you currently have. So that could be by running yourself through some questions, thinking about what areas of your life you're trying to change, and then being like, okay, cool, how do I actually feel about those different areas? You know what I mean? What do I think? Like, what beliefs come up when I think about going to the gym? When I think about, eating well or making a lifestyle change or losing weight or whatever it is? What beliefs come up? From there, you need to unpack them and figure out, are they actually true? Question it. Like ridicule.
Validate it. Yeah.
Devalidate it.
Well, yeah.
Invalidate it.
Invalidate it?
Yeah.
Validate it by invalidating it.
Yes.
So put it out on paper and pretty much just shove it in its face and like, what is this? Well, what is this telling me? And what's bullshit?
Literally. Why is that actually bullshit? So what the majority of people do is we're going to use an analogy that me and Danny ran through in the last fucking video, but you didn't get to hear it. So now you get to hear it. This is what I like to call the CD analogy. So I don't know if you remember CDs. They play music. I'm from the 1930s or whatever. Anyway, you have a CD player and you have this belief system playing on this CD in your life on repeat. I'm always overweight. Whenever I try something, I fail. Diets don't work for me. It must be my thyroid. It's my genetics, whatever it is. You have this loop of this old belief system that's been fucking your life up until this point. What the majority of people do when they try to change a belief system is they try to get a new CD, their new belief system, and shove it in on top of that old CD and then hit play. And then they wonder why that old belief system keeps on playing on repeat for the rest of their life, and they keep trying, failing, yo-yoing their way through life. I lost 20 kilos, I put on 30, whatever it is. What we need to do is actually uncover that original belief system, take it out of the CD and fucking snap it and throw it away like a fucking frisbee, not like a boomerang.
Fuck it off.
Then you can put the new one in, then you hit play and then live happily ever after.
That's exactly right. And you didn't see this, but this is the first time I actually heard this analogy, and I was in awe because I think it's so true. It's so true. It's so often we see with clients is that they just kind of like brush their previous beliefs aside and just say, yeah, like I'll do this, and and they create this.
It's all going to be okay. It'll work this. Yeah.
I'll work this out kind of thing. Like little like uncertain. Like we notice that there are points where there's a little sense of doubt, or there's just more like I'll try mentality, and that means they haven't really actually thrown out the previous CD. So when you're addressing those, when you want to address new belief systems, you have to understand, what are your old ones. You have to acknowledge them, validate or invalidate them, and pretty much say, fuck it off, throw it out. Put those new belief systems in so you can make headway.
Literally. And then also finding out how to throw that old belief system out by, like we said before, question it. I always like to say to my clients, whenever they have one of those limiting beliefs come up, has anybody in my position or worse ever achieved the results that I'm trying to achieve or better?
100%.
And 9 times out of 10, it's a yes.
Always.
So yes, you can physically achieve what you're trying to achieve 9 times out of 10, regardless of your position. Depending on what your goal is. Like if your goal is to be able to jump off a bridge and survive, I wouldn't suggest trying it. But
stick to the fitness, you know what I mean? Just
stick to maybe getting a bit leaner, feeling a bit better. A
bit stronger, a bit more confident, you know what I
mean?
Have
an active lifestyle and actually maintain it.
Yeah.
Another thing we were talking about in our previous attempt at this video was an example I used of one of my clients, which Danny definitely knows. I definitely know him. But we were losing weight. We were, he was adopting this active lifestyle. He was feeling good. And we sat down and we set this target. He'd never seen visible abs before in his life. And this is a goal that I know won't appeal to the majority of people out there. But it was something that we both believed he should see at least once, in his life. Because a lot of people just don't see it. And we set that goal. He was super keen. He was doing whatever he could do to get there. Whatever we, set in place to achieve the result. And along the way, out of curiosity, I just sat down and asked him, do you actually believe you can achieve that result? Do you actually believe you'll ever see the visible abs? Even though he committed to it, even though he said, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, yes, yes. I said, do you actually believe you will get there? And he said, honestly, no. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, we need to change that. Anyway, went through all the stuff that we're talking about, questioned it, found out why he feels like that. Was it past beliefs, past experiences, people around him, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, changed his belief system. 1 month later, almost to the fucking day, we saw visible abs. It was fucking crazy.
It's insane.
It's fucking crazy. Maybe we'll get him on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. And it's so powerful when you actually really sit down and question it. And despite you having those, with changing your belief system, yes, the action is the contributing factor. It's the things that you put in place to get to the result. But for the actual moment, it's just like a flip of the coin. It's actually quite an epiphany where you really recognize the moment where it's almost quite instantaneous, which is really, really cool. It's when you put it down and actually look at it at face value, and you really start to question everything about, your why behind it, the insecurities behind it, you start to gain that power back to yourself. And that gives you that, it's literally that moment, be able to say that holy shit moment where you're just I can do this. I can change that because you brought that power back to yourself.
Hell yeah.
Really, really cool.
And what you said about seeing that on paper at face value, just zooming out and just being like, cool, this is actually what I believe currently. Is it true? What has validated that in the past?
Exactly.
Why do I think that? And then being able to shift that is fucking huge.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And like it's like absolutely just validating it. And because our brains, they tend to want to protect us, or they want to provide a blanket for us to not go, for the hard path, like go for the path of least resistance. And we start to believe back to those belief systems, like we talk about it so much right now, but we choose to want to believe that until we actually put it down and be able to say, no, what is this actually telling me right now? And then it changes everything. Another one we looked at is if you're gonna walk the walk, if you're gonna talk the talk, walk it.
Walk and talk.
Dude, walk and talk, baby.
Walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkie. So,
what does that mean, bro?
Well, if you're saying all these things, but say if you have that epiphany, you have that moment of that light bulb moment and be like, holy shit, I can change that. No, I actually can do this. And it's like that ingrained belief. It's not that superficial shit where you just say, yeah, no, I can do this. You know you can do it. Be able to walk it as well. Set those habits, make sure they're realistic, and follow through on the promises that you keep. Can't stress it enough, especially with a lot of my clients, is that when we set up weekly goals, is that we talk about, are the plans realistic? Are you going to set that out? And they say, yep. And I'll just say, fucking make that promise and keep it. Because the more that you keep that promise, the more that you're going to succeed. That self-confidence builds, and you start to basically embody your belief systems through your actions.
Massively. Like, same deal I always preach. Make sure you set the bar at a spot that you are confident that you will definitely jump over. So set your habits, set your goals around things that you can do day to day that you are confident, 100% confident that you will follow through with. Because what happens is if you start saying you're going to do things and end up not doing them for X, Y, Z reason, once or twice here and there is okay. But if you make a habit out of that, you are consistent with not following through with the things that you say you were going to do. You slowly start chipping away at your belief in yourself, your self-confidence, and then that belief system starts getting ingrained where I don't follow through with the things I'm going to do.
Yep.
That's where that comes from. And if you have that as a belief system, even subconsciously, you're fucked. You're literally fucked. Like, and you're gonna, feel shit forever. You're gonna have a very lazy lifestyle, and you're gonna be living a life of misery.
Absolutely. And
is that dramatic? I don't know.
Oh,
maybe.
I think it's real. I think it's polarizing. Polarizing.
Polar bear.
Anyway, with polar bears. Fuck. So another big red flag that we see in I guess with what clients and how we know that their belief system hasn't actually changed. So is actually the words that they say. So if they're they're talking the talk and they're looking to walk it, those are actions, but it's also the things that they say in conversation to really validate. Now that they're really validating and with absolute certainty. So using absolute words. When they're not using absolute words, I'll get to that in a second. The non-absolute words is like, I'll try, or maybe, or, let's see how we go. Things like that where there's like a little sense of doubt, you got to fuck those off.
Yes.
If you're going with that belief system and following those actions, you need to follow through with the promises and treat it with an absolute. I'm going to do it. Yes, I can do that. I am that person. That is who you want to be. Speak like it, act like it. A lot of the red flags that we do see is that those green flags, are those words with absolutes, those certainties. The red flags is that when you have that little sense of doubt, that little shred of doubt, it means you haven't really delved deep enough into your belief systems where it might slip in between the cracks. And I really loved how you said that there is that where you're slowly chipping away, where you start to make those promises or follow those actions, and it starts to one time. It's not the end of the world, but if it's like patterns or things that that's like a little bit more cyclical, then it starts to really shred away. And about that subconscious mind, it's good that you said that because that's our next topic. You wouldn't know about this because
I didn't even know about this.
We didn't know about this either. You didn't know about this?
What's this?
Wow, we went on we went on a tangent.
Oh, the
before.
video.
Yeah, the
I thought you were
previous.
talking about next episode. No.
No, the previous
Go,
video.
run,
Previous-
man,
why,
run.
dude, why am I in jet ski right now?
Run with this. I don't know.
Train your subconscious mind. So what is our subconscious mind? So you have what's known as conscious thinking and also subconscious thinking. Conscious thinking is like active brain energy, thinking about what am I going to do for meal prep? What am I going to train? Or what do I need to do today? What are my tasks? Things like that requires, I guess, effort thinking. Then you have the subconscious, and this is like things that fall back behind our brain that doesn't require active thinking. Now, when you're forwarding those actions, forwarding those plans, the biggest red flag is going back to those when they follow through on, like they look to follow through on a plan and then they try but they miss it, or they probably set the bar too high and the promises has fallen short. And then what this does is that you started to revert back to those previous belief systems. So even though you may have that instilled belief, that potential initially, it's not going to be like that forever if you don't follow the promises and actions behind it, because your subconscious is going to catch you anyway. And so what your subconscious will do is that when it starts to fall slip between the cracks, those habits start to break down a little bit more, those 1%ers, and I'm talking like that one gym session. I'm talking about you may miss that meal prep or that menu log that you ordered. Yeah, like it may seem insignificant at the time, but when it becomes a habit, when it becomes a bit more of a pattern, all of a sudden that your brain, your subconscious brain, be able to say, it says to itself, this is okay, this behavior is okay, there's minimal repercussions, but what's going to happen long term? It becomes a snowball effect. And what are those long-term implications? Fucks you up.
Massively. That becomes your new belief system.
Yeah.
And that links into your identity as well, which is where we're talking about the fact that you need to uncover your belief system, take out that CD, get rid of it, replace it with your new CD. But then the next step on top of that is figuring out what actions that new belief system needs to actually prove to yourself that that is who you are now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So the small habits may, like, depending on what goal you're after or what result you're trying to achieve, or what lifestyle you're trying to live, figuring out what actions are actually going to get me to that, and then what belief systems do I need to have to be able to maintain that in the long run, okay? And then once that's there, you're fucking good to go. But exactly what Danny was just saying, that if you're not following through with what you say you're going to do, that will become your new identity, that will become your new normal, and then it's going to be very, very hard for you to set and achieve goals if in the back of your head you're saying, I'm not going to fucking follow through with that. It's okay when I don't do things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't actually, 9 times out of 10, I'll say I'll do something, I don't do it. You know, if that is who you are, you're pretty much fucked. So same deal, take that CD out, snap it, put the new one in, press play, and then walk the walk instead of just talking the talk.
Absolutely. It's when we're looking at belief systems as a whole, this is why it's our first episode. You're addressing those deeper inner questions. We haven't really talked about anything about training or the right exercise and anything like any of that type of stuff, because the reason like that you may be missing, or you might be falling into that yo-yoing habits, is starting with those bigger questions that you may haven't answered yet. And when you have that epiphany moment, it's really cool because all of a sudden things start to make sense. You start to bring power back into yourself, in your control, and be able to say, what the fuck am I going to do about it? And that's where you make headway. You go down.
Start making some...
Yeah.
Dude, this voice is still gone.
It's still going, eh?
Start making some waves.
I think I had a couple of testy pops myself. Yeah.
I know, it's good.
I know.
You just got to get the head together. Like, the process in itself is really irrelevant. It doesn't matter what diet you follow. Doesn't matter what training program you follow. Get somebody that keeps you accountable to whatever, so you can actually bounce ideas off. But at the end of the day, if your head is not there, if your belief systems are not aligned with what you're trying to do, who you're trying to be, and what lifestyle you're trying to lead, you may achieve good results, but you will definitely not maintain that.
It'd be tougher to sustain that for sure. And and you can also kind of like bring this up upon, like, when you're looking at a changing your belief system, you're thinking more of like from a growth mindset, when it's like, when you're looking at the intricacies of like the training regime and the right food plan, stuff like that, can be very fixed. It may work in the short term, and we've seen that time and time again, but what fails long term is that maybe not be in the first few months or 6 months or even a year, but down the track, those bigger questions aren't addressed. that routine will break down. Those habits can crumble, and what you're left with are back with that old CD that you're looking to get rid of because things were, realistic, or like or like it was more that fixed approach, that fixed mindset, rather than looking bigger, thinking that you are capable and you can fucking succeed, right?
You can do whatever you want to do.
Just
got to sort out that head.
That got inspiring, didn't it?
That is very inspiring. Very inspiring. Well, there you go.
There you go.
I've got to go to work.
Go to work, man. I'm going to go have a shower.
You need it.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, it doesn't smell too bad. It's
I
good.
feel like I stink.
It's good.
Yeah. You don't understand. Our last take was unreal.
It was perfect. This was horrible compared to that.
This is terrible. So
we were flowing.
Everything was great.
We finished the chess game.
We almost kissed a couple of times, locked eyes. What?
Almost.
Oh, cut that out. But now you're left with a fucking half-drowned rat.
And his friend that just did jiu-jitsu. So there you go.
No, this is the Split Shift Pod, first episode, Belief Systems. We hope you got some value out of it. We hope that this may be the catalyst for you to question your own belief systems. Write those down on paper, question it, look at it at face value, and figure out who the fuck you are, what the fuck you're going to do about it. And our dream, our goal is to see you succeed. We'd love to hear some feedback. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool.
You don't have to.
Say something.
You don't have to.
Just tell us that you're actually watching this. Like,
yeah.
Put a little fucking, I don't know, little fist bump in the car. I don't fucking know. What do you want?
Maybe like the video. Like the video and subscribe. Is that what they say?
Like, subscribe. Fucking send nudes. I don't know. Like, whatever you want. Too much?
Too much.
Okay. Don't do that. Anyway, Split Shift.
Yeah. Split Shift.
See you next week. Or the next.
I'm Dan.
I'm Jemima. And we are High Five.
We'll see you next week.
Oh.